Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wicked Encounters, where we explore just what goes bump in the night. I'm your host, Allie, and it's every horror fan's favorite time of year, October! In celebration of the spookiest month, I've compiled a list of movies that I think are worth sharing with you guys, and I'm calling it the 31 Days of Wicked Horror. We're on the 26th day of October now, and the final Saturday. But in case it's your first time checking in, I'll tell you how I've selected these movies that I believe are worthy enough for you to watch. First off, none of the movies are going to be older than 20 years, so we can add some newer videos to our must-watch lists instead of continuing to repeat the same ones from 50 years ago. Oh, Alice, sweet Alice. Secondly, I'll be providing the synopsis and plot of the movies for those who may not like surprises or just want to know what the movies are about. There will be a slide letting you know when we're coming up on it, and I'll let you know where it's safe to click on to avoid spoilers. Also, while many of the movies are streamable, I'm not going to really provide the info on where you can watch them, because it varies based on where you live, and streaming services suck, and no one's going to change my mind on that. Finally, I'm going to give you some reasons as to why the movie stands out, and why I think you'll like it. So, 26th on our list is House LLC. House LLC is a 2015 found-footage horror film written and directed by Stephen Cognetti and produced by Joe Bandelli that documents the tragic events that took place at a haunted house attraction in Abaddon, New York. The film is presented as a documentary, combining interviews, news footage, and recovered footage from the night of the incident. I'm going to go more in depth and go over the plot of the movie now, so if you'd like to skip, you'll know where to skip to in 3, 2, 1. The story revolves around a group of friends: Alex, his girlfriend Sarah, Mac, Tony, and Paul, who run a company called House LLC. Each year, they set up haunted house attractions in various locations, and for this season, Alex chooses the abandoned Abaddon Hotel as the site for their new haunt. The Abaddon Hotel, which has a dark and mysterious past, is located in a small town with a history of unexplained occurrences. The hotel had been closed for years after a series of strange events, including the disappearance of its previous owner. Despite this, Alex is drawn to the location due to its eerie atmosphere, which he believes will enhance the scare factor of their attraction. The group moves into the hotel several weeks before opening night to set up their attraction. They document their progress, recording everything from the setup of props and decorations to the team's interactions and day-to-day life in the hotel. Almost immediately, strange and unsettling things begin to happen. Paul, who is responsible for filming most of the footage, starts experiencing odd occurrences, such as seeing mysterious figures in the background and hearing strange noises at night. As the days go by, the paranormal activity escalates. The team notices that props and decorations move on their own, and they encounter unexplained technical difficulties. Paul records increasingly disturbing events, such as a figure standing in the middle of the night in his room, and creepy clowns that seem to move on their own. Despite these terrifying incidents, Alex insists on continuing with the project, dismissing the concerns of the others as mere nerves or pranks. Sarah, who is interviewed throughout the documentary, reveals that the group was hiding something significant about the events leading up to opening night. Tension mounts as the opening date approaches, and the team begins to unravel under the pressure of the haunt and the strange occurrences in the hotel. On opening night, the Hell House attraction draws a large crowd of visitors eager to be scared, but the night quickly descends into chaos. As the guests make their way through the attraction, something goes horribly wrong. The recovered footage shows panicked patrons running for the exits, screaming and trampling each other in the chaos. The lights flicker, and the power goes out, plunging the entire hotel into darkness. The footage reveals that the supernatural forces in the hotel became fully active during the opening night, leading to a series of horrific events. Several guests and staff members are seen being attacked by unseen forces, while others disappear entirely. Paul, who had been acting increasingly erratic, is last seen in a horrifying state, implying that he had been possessed or influenced by the malevolent entities in the hotel. The exact nature of what happened that night remains unclear, but it is evident that something otherworldly caused the deaths of 15 people, including several members of the House LLC team. The documentary concludes with the filmmakers investigating the aftermath of the tragedy. They visit the abandoned Abaddon Hotel and uncover more disturbing evidence of the supernatural presence that haunts the location. The final scenes reveal that Sarah, who has been providing interviews throughout the documentary, was not as innocent as she seems. She leads the documentary crew back to the hotel under the pretense of giving them additional footage, but instead disappears, leaving them to face the horrors within the hotel. The film ends ambiguously, leaving viewers with lingering questions about the true nature of the Abaddon Hotel and the fate of those involved. And with that, the film ends. Hey guys, nice to see you! To those who stayed, I hope you enjoyed what you heard enough to give it a watch. And for those who skipped, oh, you don't understand how much I enjoy this movie. And it was filmed so close to where I live, and it's just, you know, small businesses and how everyone always says to shop local and all that fun stuff. You guys need to watch this. It's like, watch local made movies from my area. They're so good. But I think you need a bit more convincing than that. I bet you're wondering why it made it onto the list. What makes House LLC stand out? Well, I will say one of the main factors is that House LLC is found footage format done right. House LLC revitalizes the found footage genre by effectively using the format to build tension and creating a sense of realism. The film structure, which combines the found footage with a faux documentary style, adds layers to the narrative and makes the story feel more authentic and immersive. The use of handheld cameras and raw footage enhances the film's atmosphere, drawing viewers into the horror. Effective use of atmosphere and setting. The Abaddon Hotel itself is a character in the film, with its dilapidated and eerie atmosphere playing a crucial role in the story. The filmmakers make excellent use of the hotel's dark, claustrophobic spaces to create a pervasive sense of dread. The setting is both haunting and believable, adding to the film's overall tension and unease. Slow building tension. House LLC excels at building tension slowly, with small, unsettling occurrences gradually escalating into full-blown horror. The film does use some jump scares, but it doesn't rely on them alone. Instead, it uses the gradual unveiling of the hotel's malevolent history and the increasing desperation of the characters to create a deeply unsettling atmosphere. The pacing allows the horror to feel organic, making the final act all the more terrifying. Unsettling and memorable visuals. The film includes several chilling and memorable visual moments, such as the scene where a clown mannequin inexplicably moves, or footage of a ghostly figure standing in the corner of a room. These images are deeply unnerving and linger in the viewer's mind long after the film ends. The simplicity of the scares, such as subtle movements in the background or figures that appear just out of focus, it makes it so much more realistic, effective, and haunting. Strong character dynamics. The group dynamic among the House LLC team is believable and well developed. The characters are portrayed as real people with their own flaws, fears, and motivations, making their descent into horror more impactful. The film explores the tension between the group members as they struggle to reconcile their growing fear with their commitment to the project, adding depth to the narrative. Ambiguity and mystery. The film leaves many questions unanswered, particularly regarding the true nature of the supernatural forces at work at the Abaddon Hotel. This ambiguity contributes to the film's unsettling atmosphere, as viewers are left to piece together the story and draw their own conclusions. The film's open-endedness adds to its replay value, as each viewing may reveal new details or interpretations. Integration of real-world elements. By framing the story as a documentary about a real-life tragedy, House LLC blurs the line between fiction and reality. This approach makes the horror feel more immediate and personal, as it mimics the style of real documentaries and news reports. The inclusion of interviews with experts and witnesses adds credibility to the story, making the horror more believable. Innovative horror in a familiar genre. While the found footage genre has become somewhat saturated by the time House LLC was released, the film managed to stand out by combining innovative storytelling with a fresh take on the haunted house trope. The film doesn't rely on cliches, but instead offers a unique and immersive experience that feels both familiar and new. House LLC stands out in the horror genre for its skillful use of found footage, its atmospheric setting, and its ability to build tension and suspense without relying on over-the-top scares. The film's strong characters, memorable visuals, and haunting ambiguity make it a standout entry in modern horror, appealing to fans of both psychological and the supernatural. And that's all I have on House LLC. I only have 5 more movies that I'll be sharing with you, too. What do you think they could be? How do you feel about House LLC being on the list? Is it a little too indie for you? Do you think maybe my love for something local might have been a bit too into this one? Or was it nice to see a movie that you might not have noticed before? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to discuss horror more in depth with you all, so feel free to join the Wicked Encounters Discord group. If you like what I do and want to support me, maybe consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the little bell icon so you know when I post. If you'd like to support me in other ways, why not check out my Patreon? Speaking of, I'd like to give a great big thank you to my patrons, Nakala and Beefalump. You guys rock harder than Ozzy Osbourne. Well, that's all I've got time for today. So remember, I'm Allie, this is Wicked Encounters, and I'll see you next time. Bye!